Are we live? It looks like we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Pop Culture Asylum. I'm your host, Gabriel. I hope everyone is having an incredible day. And I am doing a new series. Well, I wouldn't want to say series. I'm just trying to test out the waters a little bit. So I guess you can say this is like an episode one, a beta kind of thing. But I want to like to do these kinds of videos. And obviously, if you read the title, we're basically saying the obvious. Why? And our first episode is why Monday Night Raw is the worst show in professional wrestling right now. Now, I'm not just gonna go out on a tangent and just rant for no reason. I got actual reasons that I wrote on my notes, okay, on why Monday Night Raw is terrible. Now, do I am I that kind of person that like wants this show to be bad? No. I want Monday Night Raw to be good. I want Monday Night Raw to be great. But it's kind of hard to do that at the state it is in right now. It like I get it. AEW has flaws. SmackDown has flaws. New Japan Pro Wrestling has flaws. Impact has flaws. But Monday Night Raw, I think we can all agree that Monday Night Raw has the most flaws of them all. They have more flaws right now than Impact. How is that possible? How is that possible? Honestly. So I'm going to go over the reasons why Monday Night Raw is bad. I got a lot on my list. So let's not waste any time. Let's get this video, underway. So, right off the bat of reasons why Monday Night Raw is bad is the show is 3 hours long. No, 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 no. Massive red flag right off the bat. Okay, no wrestling show should be 3 hours. Okay, AEW's not 3 hours. Like SmackDown's not 3 hours. Impact's not 3 hours. Like, come on. Like, it's like it. First of all, the reason why I don't like Monday Night Raw being in 3 hours because you have first of all, it's way too long. It's way too long. No wrestling show should be that long. Okay, that is ridiculous. Maybe for a pay per view being like 3 or 4 hours long, but that's a pay per view. We're talking about a regular televised show. And Monday Night Raw, especially at the say it is in, and the fact that they're not using 90% of their roster, it's best for Monday Night Raw to go back to 2 hours. Okay, like because here's the thing with Monday Night Raw, with having Raw in 3 hours means that they have to put some like unnecessary filler, which is another reason. Well, I didn't put that reason on this list, but Monday Night Raw does have a lot of unnecessary filler. Okay, so the show shouldn't be 3 hours long. Monday Night Raw can be perfectly fine being 2 hours. Okay, no wrestling show should be 3 hours. Like some of AEW, yes, they're not perfect. Okay, but it's not 3 hours. SmackDown, it's not perfect, but it's 2 hours long, and they they still put up a decent show despite having a small roster and despite the show being 2 hours long. Okay, and some people even consider SmackDown as the best WWE show right now, and I say it's completely justified. Okay, though SmackDown has been kind of weak lately, people still think SmackDown's good right now, which is completely justified. Okay, and the show's only 2 hours, and there's like no filler at all. At least like one or two things are filler, but that's it. There's not like 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 filler segments or filler matches that are completely unnecessary to the show, which derails the show's momentum. Okay? The show should not be 3 hours long. Put it back to 2 hours, please. Thank you very much. So, the next reason why I think Monday Night Raw is the worst show in professional wrestling right now is that they are not being creative enough. Not being creative. Every show feels the same. It feels the same. Like every show, I feel like I'm watching it on repeat. But you know what? We'll get to that in a sec. But the the fact that they are not being creative enough. The only exception I will give WWE is the Randy Orton Alexa Bliss theme storyline because they are doing a great job with that storyline. One of the actual few positives that I will give WWE and Monday Night Raw, they are doing not an incredible job. Like they kind of botch the story a little bit at the Elimination Chamber, but for the most part, they're doing a really good job with this storyline, and they are being really creative. So that's that. That's the only exception. But I want to see that creativity throughout the show, not just one specific storyline. Okay, because it makes the show boring. Like I appreciate the creativity, and WWE does extremely well when they think outside the box and be creative. But that's the thing. They are not being creative enough because every show feels the same. There's nothing different. There's nothing unique. And the only thing that is unique, it's only like 2 minutes long. That's it. The best part of the show is the most creative part, and there's only 2 minutes of it. Like 2 to 5 minutes of it, and that's it. If they want Monday Night Raw to be a good show again, they need to think outside the box. They need to be more creative, not just for one specific storylines, but like multiple storylines. And like I want to see like creative vignettes and something creative segments. I want to see the Hurt Business go to nightclubs and like attack innocent people for like not giving them money. Or I want to see like Matt Riddle like being high or something, or like some vignettes of Keith Lee like doing some incredible things. Or I want to see some hacking things from Mustafa Ali and Retribution. They should be more creative. The New Day have been boring. And that is an insane sentence that I have to say, but the New Day even has been boring as of late because they haven't even done anything creative with the New Day. With the New Day. Like, come on. Like, if you're not like giving anything creative to do for the New Day, you know that you're fucking up big time. Okay? It's not the matter of them not being creative because they are being creative, but they're not being creative enough. They're only being creative for one specific storyline. That's Randy Orton and Alexa Bliss. And again, when they are creative, they're doing a great job. And for the most part, they are doing a great job, in my opinion, with Randy Orton, Alexa Bliss, and The Fiend. They're doing a great job with those segments. Those are the only segments that I pay attention for because they are very well done. And I just wish WWE can be more creative with this show. I want them to be more creative with this show. I want to see some New Day funny segments. I want to see some Hurt Business going to the nightclub and actually being portrayed as mob bosses. I want to see some weird things with Matt Riddle. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Be more creative. Is that so hard to ask? Because again, When WWE is creative, they blow it out of the park. When WWE actually try and be creative, they blow it out of the park most of the time. And because, for example, the Randy Orton, Alexa Bliss, and Fiend storyline, but they are not being creative enough, which is a shame. Because, like, even though there's other problems that I have in this list that I'm definitely gonna go over, WWE being more creative, it might not boost the ratings, but they would definitely go in the right direction and actually give some intrigue to the show again. That's literally all I ask. To just be more creative, WWE. Be more creative. So there's that. And another problem, I guess you can say that it goes with my previous point, that being they are not being creative enough. But my third point that I want to go over is repetitive matches. Repetitive matches. Oh my God. Another reason why Raw is so boring, because we keep seeing the same matches over and over again. How many times are we going to see the Hurt Business versus the Lucha House Party? How many times are we going to see, how many times are we going to see Charlotte Flair versus Lacey Evans? How many times are we going to see Charlotte and Asuka versus Nia Jackson, Shayna Baszler? And I can go on and on and on. How many times are we going to see Jeff Hardy and Elias? Are you kidding me? How many times are we going to see the New Day versus Retribution? Okay, every single week, it has a couple of repetitive matches that we have seen over and over and over again, and nothing is different. Nothing. And the result is usually the same, with the same guy winning every single time. Just last Monday was a night of rematches. A night of rematches. Like we saw Damian Priest versus Angel Garza again. Even though it was a great match, I was a little bit bored because, again, we've seen this before. The Hurt Business versus the Lucha House Party. I would be excited because they are two really great teams. But we already seen this match before. The New Day versus Retribution. How many times are we going to see this matchup? You're boring us to death with the same matches over and over and over again. And you know what's the worst part about it? You know what the worst part about it? Monday Night Raw has a bigger roster than NXT and SmackDown. Okay? SmackDown right now has a small roster. Okay, which is why I give SmackDown a little bit of the benefit of the doubt, because they don't have a big roster. Okay, they have some star power with Reigns, Bryan, Rollins, but you know what I mean? SmackDown has a small roster, yet they still produce a really good show despite having a small roster. Monday Night Raw, on the other hand, has a big roster, so it shouldn't. So it's unforgivable. It's unforgivable that Monday Night Raw keeps giving us the same matches over and over and over again, despite having a big roster. Hell, you might even do some squash matches. Do a Bobby Lashley versus Ricochet, or a Keith Lee versus Humberto Carrillo. Come on, try to mix it up. Don't give us the same matches over and over and over again. You shouldn't have repetitive matches because you have a big roster. You have a big roster. Use your superstars. Use them. You don't even have to, we get it. You know you're not going to push a Humberto Carrillo or an Elias or a Drew Gulak, but at least put them on TV to mix it up. Stop giving us the same matches over and over again despite having a big roster. Okay, use your superstars. Honestly, use them. Okay, use an Alberto Carrillo as a jobber. Use an Elias as a jobber. Use a Jackson Riker as a jobber or a Drew Gulak. Okay, at least use them. Honestly, we shouldn't be seeing the same matches over and over and over again, despite having a big roster. It makes no goddamn sense. Okay, so that's that. So, other than that, the next point I want to talk about are logic gaps. Oh my god. There are so many logic gaps on Monday Night Raw. I'll give you a couple of examples. Last Monday night, Braun Strowman, okay? The last time we seen Braun Strowman, he put his hands on an official. And that's another thing that didn't make any sense. Braun Strowman put his hands on an official, even though that same official was about to give him a shot at the WWE Championship. That's a logic gap right there. But he came back and he's complaining as always. Okay. And all of a sudden he's in a number one contendership match. All he has to do is win one match and he gets a shot at the WWE Championship. Bitch, he should be in the back of the line. Okay, did WWE forget that he put his hands on an official? He shouldn't immediately get a shot at the WWE Championship. He shouldn't even be in a number one contendership match because he has been out for most of the freaking year. Okay, and he comes back, and it makes no sense. Another example: Charlotte Flair and Lacey Evans. Just that storyline alone makes no sense. Like Ric Flair helping out Lacey Evans instead of helping out his own daughter. That makes no sense whatsoever. Okay? But it was a couple of Raws before the Elimination Chamber, and it was a matchup between Charlotte and Lacey. And if Lacey Evans won against Charlotte Flair in any capacity, she would face Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship at the Elimination Chamber. So during the matchup, Charlotte Flair literally got herself disqualified, beating her up, like disregarding the referee's fine count, giving Lacey Evans the win. Why? Why Charlotte Flair could have just beat Lacey Evans fair and square by pinfall or submission? Why did she have to it makes no sense. It makes no sense. Another example, the Elimination Chamber, right? At the pay-per-view. Randy Orton, I literally explained this in my Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, right? Like, Randy Orton gets eliminated first in the Elimination Chamber without any distractions from either Alexa Bliss or the Fiend. He just got eliminated fair and square by Kofi Kingston just like that. Why? How does that make any sense? The amount of logic gaps that is in this show is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. It's honestly kind of funny. Okay? Like, I get it, AEW sometimes have logic gaps. SmackDown sometimes has logic gaps. Impact, New Japan Pro Wrestling, no one is safe. But Monday Night Raw has the most logic gaps I have ever seen. And shit needs to start making more sense. Shit needs to start making more sense. Stop giving us these logic gaps. Okay? Stop it. Like, that's another thing that Monday Night Raw needs to fix. So there's that. Another reason why I think Monday Night Raw is terrible is that the champions are not special. Oh my God. The creative team on Monday Night Raw, especially Vince McMahon, have done the champions dirty. Okay? Especially Drew McIntyre and Asuka. Okay, let's first talk about Drew McIntyre. Like, not to mention the fact that they already botched his title reign not once, but twice. Twice they fucked up Drew McIntyre's title reign. Okay, and not to mention the fact that they didn't even try with Drew McIntyre's title reign. Yes, we had good match. We had like good matches with AJ Styles, Bobby Lashley, like like Sheamus, all that jazz. Okay, but it just hasn't felt that special. And like the just with sources saying that WWE doesn't have anything special planned for the WWE Championship for WrestleMania. How do you not have any plans for your biggest prize in your company? Okay, why do you have more priority at the Universal Championship, which was just made a few years ago, and not have anything special for the WWE Championship? A championship that has been around since forever. The people that held the title, like Hulk Hogan, the Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man Randy Savage, Bret Hart, The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Triple H, Eddie Guerrero, Kurt Angle. Many of these legends held this prestigious title. And you mean to tell me that you have nothing planned for the championship? And like they haven't even made the WWE Championship special. They have done a weak ass job making Drew McIntyre's WWE Championship reign. It has been weak as hell. Okay, Drew McIntyre is doing what he can. Okay, and I don't blame him. He's doing what he can to try to make this reign work. And I shouldn't people shouldn't blame Drew McIntyre for being so stale because it's not McIntyre's fault. Stop. And for all the fans right now that are blaming Drew McIntyre for having a stale title reign, first of all, you should think, okay, because Drew McIntyre is doing what he can. What you guys should be doing is blaming creative, blaming Vince McMahon. Stop blaming Drew McIntyre like fucking idiots and blame creative. I just, what boggles my mind, and one of my biggest pet peeves is wrestling fans blaming the wrestlers for just doing their job. Okay, I get it. Drew McIntyre's reign is it's weak. It's stale. I agree with you there. But is it Drew McIntyre's fault? No, it's not McIntyre's fault. Stop blaming Drew McIntyre and blame creative. Blame Vince McMahon. Stop blaming shit on the superstars for doing their job. What we should be doing is blaming creative, not the superstar. Okay? Stop it with that, people. Just stop with that. Blame creative, not the superstars. And oh my God, Asuka. Let's talk about Asuka. Okay? I am extremely disgusted on how they handle Asuka's title reign. Okay, Asuka has been sidelined for like most of the months. Okay, she has been sidelined by Charlotte Flair, of course, Lacey Evans, why, and Nia, I shit you not, Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler are as champions, as women's tag team champions. They feel more important than the Raw Women's Champion Asuka. How the Nia, just think about that for a sec. They push Nia Jax. They push the women's tag team titles and Nia Jax of all fucking people to be more important than the Raw Women's Champion Asuka. what do I even have to say? What do I even have to say? Okay, like how can you even justify handling Asuka? And again, if you guys like Monday Night Raw, then that's your opinion. But you can't defend this. You can't justify what they're doing with Asuka. What they're doing with Asuka and the Raw Women's Championship is disgusting. Okay, she should be special. She is holding the prestigious prize on that show for the women. Yet she's being sidelined. She's rarely being seen on television. What do I even have to say? Like, even for the people that watch Monday Night Raw, I don't see how anyone, either you hate Monday Night Raw or like Monday Night Raw, I don't see how anyone can justify how they're treating Asuka's title reign. Okay, it is disgusting. It is fucked up, and Asuka deserves better. Asuka deserves better. I'm going to say this one more time just in case anyone at WWE ends up watching this video. Asuka deserves better. So book her to be important. She has the Raw Women's Championship, the most important championship on Monday Night Raw, or at least that's what it's supposed to be. Okay, the champions should be booked strong. Okay, they should be the focal point of the show. They should be the important players of the show. And the fact that it is not the case is ridiculous, which is messed up. Okay, like Drew McIntyre's reign may be weak, but at least they're doing something with Drew McIntyre to have somewhat of an importance. Asuka doesn't feel important because they are not booking her to be important. They're not booking the Raw Women's Championship to be important. I don't understand. I get it. If you like Monday Night Raw, then all the power to you. All the power to you. But I don't see how anyone, including the Monday Night Raw lovers, can justify the treatment of Asuka and the Raw Women's Championship. It's fucked up, and it just boils me. It pisses me off because Asuka deserves better. She deserves better. And the fact that that's not the case is fucked up. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. So let's continue on. Okay? And the next problem with this show is not giving some superstars time to develop their characters. Okay? Like right now, WWE is pushing the people like Randy Orton, like Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, Kofi Kingston, The Miz, pushing all these superstars. And I get it. I get it. There's some of the veterans, and some veterans should be like pushed, but not all the veterans. I feel like Monday Night Raw is more of a veteran show than like a show that's supposed to be pushing the next generation. Now, they are pushing certain stars like Keith Lee, Matt Riddle, and Damian Priest. Okay? And they're doing a great job with that. Like and Cedric Alexander. They're doing a great job with some wrestlers, which I will give them credit for that. But they're not pushing other wrestlers like Ricochet or Drew Gulak. And again, you're probably going to say, "Oh, Ricochet, you want WWE to push him like he has no character." Okay, but it doesn't mean that WWE can't give him a character and actually experiment on him. Like, okay, Ricochet is now working as a face. So turn him heel and just Try to experiment Ricochet being a heel. Don't just let him be a jobber. Okay? And Mustafa Ali. Mustafa Ali. Oh my God. He is doing some of his best work of his career. But you know what the worst part about it is? The best work of his career is not being showcased on television. It's being showcased on social media and Raw Talk. Okay, he is putting up some of the best promos on Raw Talk. And I will go as far to say is that Mustafa Ali is the current day CM Punk. He is that good on the microphone. Okay? And it's because of Mustafa Ali and what he is doing that is making me like Retribution a little bit more. I don't like them like it's my favorite faction of all time, but I am starting to like them just a teeny bit more because of Mustafa Ali. He's putting up some of the best promos, and not to mention the fact that he is a great talent and he has a character. People in the IWC can give that complaint to Mustafa Ali because he has a character. He has a character. And the fact that he is not being developed as a character on Monday Night Raw makes me sick because Mustafa Ali is doing an incredible job on Raw Talk and on social media. He has been burning people in the IW. Some of his burns are legendary, and they need to put more respect and more love to Mustafa Ali. Okay, Mustafa Ali has been working with a dead faction for a while now, and he is doing whatever he can to save this faction. And he is slowly, gradually doing a great job. Okay, so would it make sense to let him speak and let him do some of these promos on national television and let him get some wins? And that's another thing. Like Mustafa Ali and Retribution have been losing and losing and losing instead of giving them some wins. Okay, Retribution Mustafa Ali doesn't have to win all the time, but don't let them lose all the time either. Like Mustafa Ali deserves better. Some of these talent deserves better, but that's the thing. They give TV time to the same people, to the same old people, and does not let some wrestlers develop their character. Does not let they don't let some of these wrestlers give have a chance to grow. They don't let people like Ali grow, or the entire Retribution, or Ricochet, or a Drew Gulak, or a Lucha House Party. Like, you know what I mean? Do you see where I'm getting at? They should spend time to develop some other characters. Don't put a Miz 90 don't okay, it's okay to showcase a Drew McIntyre and a Randy Orton and a Sheamus and a Miz, but also showcase some new talent like a Cedric Alexander and a Mustafa Ali and a Drew Gulak and Humberto Carrillo, a Ricochet. And again, some of these wrestlers doesn't have to be on the winning end like a Humberto Carrillo or Drew Gulak. Okay, because you can make them as jobbers, but at least showcase some new stars. Just don't showcase the same superstars over and over and over again. And this goes to my previous point of this show being repetitive and being the same. Okay? It's okay to showcase a McIntyre, a Sheamus, or Orton, a Bray Wyatt, a Miz, a John Morrison. Okay? It's fine. But also give time to showcase some of the newer talent like Keith Lee, Matt Riddle, Cedric Alexander, Mustafa Ali, Ricochet, Drew Gulak, Humberto Carrillo. Do you see what I mean? But that's literally all my complaints and all my criticisms on Monday Night Raw. And hopefully, Monday Night Raw fix some of these problems because these are some very big problems. Okay, I gave you some of and if someone in WWE somehow finds this video and watched this entire video, like I pointed out the problems of this show. Now it's your job to fix it. Okay, because I want Monday Night Raw to be good again. I want to be entertained. I want to be surprised. I want to be excited to see Monday Night Raw again. I don't want to be bored and disgusted to watch Monday Night Raw. Okay, and there's even some Mondays where I don't even watch Monday Night Raw, and I just rely on YouTube clips and stuff like that because this show is not special anymore. It's 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 one of the worst shows. It's the worst show in pro wrestling right now because of the reasons, the criticisms, the problems that I just pointed out. Now it's up to you, WWE, to fix them, and I hope to God you fix these problems. But that's all I gotta say. Do you guys agree with me? Do you guys disagree with me? Is there something you like? Was there something you hate? And I want to establish something in this video. If you're one of these people who like Monday Night Raw, then good for you. I'm not giving you shit for it because at the end of the day, we all like what we like. Okay? But like if you guys like Monday Night Raw, then all power to you. And if you like the state that Monday Night Raw is in right now, then more power to you. Okay, but I'm just pointing out that my opinion that Monday Night Raw is the worst show in pro wrestling right now, and I gave my reasons why. So, do you guys agree with me? Do you guys disagree with me? Was there something you agreed on? Was there something you disagree on? And is there any other points that I miss? If so, like put it down in the comment section and I'll definitely check it out. But that's all I gotta say. It is Wednesday, so expect me to put out another video later on tonight reviewing this episode of AEW Dynamite. But until next time, this is Gabriel, and I will see you later on in the AEW Dynamite review. But until later, this is Gabriel, and I'll see you next time in the Asylum. See you later, guys.